Kicking things off, you can see that my opponent here declines their upgrade because they are in an AMG 1 and it's a highway race. I would quite like to take that car, and I'd quite like my opponent to not have that car. So I'm going for the classic Bob Maloubier trap. Now I stop right here to turn around on the downward slope, so that my opponent's momentum will keep them going the wrong way, so they're going to have a harder time turning round and coming after me. At this point, honestly, it's pretty much game over as long as I don't flip and crash, so I'm going the very safe route around the edge of the mountain, braking heavily, bringing my speed right under control so that I can get across the finish line with no problems, and I have an AMG 1 for the highway. A fast level 10 is chasing me here, and again I'm going to use a hill to gain an advantage. So I whip up the hill to the left here, rip the handbrake and turn it around. My opponent knows what's coming, you can see them turn around as well, but with the decline from the hill I get better acceleration even though they're in an RS200. They are closing up to me, but realistically they're probably not quite going to make it. Quick glance behind, my opponent gives me a friendly beep on the horn, or maybe it wasn't a friendly beep on the horn, they might have been annoyed to be fair, and I have a nice RS200 for an off-road race. This one was mystifying to me. I was playing cat and mouse and running away to bait this car into me, but the arena is just having its final shrink. There's only 4 drivers to go, and the AMG 1 driver decides they'd like to take me out in my Murcielago. I led them this way for a good 30 seconds or so, whipped it around just as I exited the arena, and I am now full throttle to the finish line. This looks pretty solid as long as I can keep it flat on the ground, and I'm going to take an AMG 1 again for a highway finish. Fastest car in the game and stolen with a Murcielago, and as you can hear I got that steal just before the end of the arena shrink. That was a very satisfying cat and mouse U-turn trap. I absolutely hate the Funko. I'm getting better at controlling it, but I would trade it for anything. So I was baiting this dot to the edge of the arena, and I get very lucky that it's a Brocky. The only obstacle here is directly opposite the entrance to the little path. There's a big rock which I'm heading right for. I remember and notice right at the last second and jink around to the right, and that looks like a Brocky for me. Much more controllable than the Funko. Funko accelerates like mad, but I think I'll take that Brocky. Yes please. Good game to my opponent there. Unlucky. This one's a classic cat and mouse across the road that goes through. Oh, an AMG 1 stolen with a track hawk. Across this little path here, which goes from north to south. Classic trap that I love to set up. Drove slowly in the other way in a track hawk. I mean, to be fair, I couldn't really help driving slowly because it's a track hawk. And that will be an AMG 1 stolen with a Jeep. We will take that. That is all about knowing your arena. The lovely north to south, south to north track there. In this one again, I'm going to use a hill to slow me down. My opponent slows down, but it's too late. They are well past the mark and heading in the wrong direction. I'm going to avoid this pink dot, taking a hard left. You can see that your bad boss just eliminated somebody, and there's only a few drivers left. Your bad boss gets a Camaro, which could have also been my fate in the Cayenne, but luckily, thanks to a little bit of cat and mouse, I'm going to steal a Centenario instead and not have to worry about getting a bad level 8 for the final. This arena is a tricky one, as you'll see in a second, but again I rip the handbrake and I'm going to catch this Centenario chasing me in the wrong direction. There's a lovely cut across here, avoiding the rocks. Most of you probably know, but if you don't, feel free to rewind and just check out the rocks on the right and the left. Worth noting, I've changed my route here recently to head more to the right between these trees here. At this particular point in the game, I wasn't quite as familiar, so I have to slow right down to cut through those trees. And there's a funny moment coming up here. You can see there's a pink dot just behind me. And if I pause, you'll see that it's an Andretti Beetle, fancying a nice easy level 7 to get. amusingly, as soon as they saw me steal a Centenario with my RS7, they ran away and didn't want any of that. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.